Thanks, Lynn. I just want to get back to the decriminalisation model in an Irish context, right? And I think we have to look to the past to look to the future. And I think Maria Sherlock had stated this PQ response that I got a number of months ago, and it's very, very revealing and very, very startling in terms of the adult costing scheme to cannabis, right? So I'll read this out. From December 2020 to the 16th of February this year, 5,139 people were issued with an adult caution for simple possession of cannabis or cannabis resin. When I asked the same question in terms of prosecutions, get ready for this, in the same period 17,500 people were prosecuted for the exact same thing. So the arbitrary nature of just leaving it to the discretion of the police, I think it doesn't work. It literally doesn't work. And that's my fear in terms of decriminalisation, in terms of in the Irish context. Because the establishment, from Ryan and taken from their soundbites, is that they don't want to go as far as changing legislation. They're very, very fearful, and they will leave it to the arbitrary nature of the adult costing scheme or something a bit kind of more broader than that.
Look, I can't comment from Garda Síochána, and I think that's their figures to the PQ, I presume. But their response, I presume, was their response to the PQ, or was it?
Yeah.
Okay. But again, I'm not quoting verbatim, but Assistant Commissioner Justin Kelly was presenting yesterday, and he was making the point that many of the figures that you would quote for the 17,000 or odd would be for not just possession; they would be for other criminal activity that they were put forward for conviction on. But all I can go is on the presentations we had from the Garda Síochána to the Assembly. They were consistent in their view. They were clear on both presentations. They did not want to move to a legalised model. We did push them, as Chair pushed them, to what was their view on a decriminalised model. I couldn't be very clear what it is, or if they would prefer the status quo. I know Assistant Commissioner yesterday had said at the presentations that they would be in favour of a health-led approach, but I'm not quite sure.
Status quo. It does.
Yeah, certainly at the, I've been on the record. It's at our Citizens Assembly meetings, it certainly came across to us as the status quo was the preferred model.
And I think they're happy enough with the status quo. I mean, I think there is elements of the Guards that would actually be a bit more progressive in terms of the status quo. But I think there's at the top echelons of society, I think they're more than happy. And Paul, you have said it before, there's a huge class nature to all, this issue. Because if it was happening, the devastation what's happened, if it was happening in more affluent areas, to be a completely different response. We all know that. So yeah.
I think Ms. Moynihan wants to come in there.
And it just refers to Deputy Kenny's point, and also brings in Chair Wan's point about the stop and search and the stigmatisation around that. I think around the roundtable discussions, members felt very strongly uncomfortable with the level degree of stop and search that was going on in our city and across the nation. I know the Garda Síochána did present to us that they were focusing on the supply, the chain of supply, but there was another statistic provided to us that the statistics in Dublin are the search and supply are higher than in London, which has 9 million people. So there's truth somewhere in between all of that. But I think it is, to go to the chairs, there's stigmatisation around the stop and search. It's criminalising a behaviour that we're trying to say is a health issue. And we do need to look at that. So thank you.
Yep, thank you.